Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of several different designs. They were all done using Loren Sherman's script, which uses a combination of dots and lines on these 4 different shaped stems to make our consonants. And vowels are a bit trickier. They're these smaller circles, and they have different positions depending upon what vowel they are and if they're attached on one of these 4 stems. So as I said, this is several different designs, and I'm actually going to kind of give you a tour of this document. I do all of my work on GIMP, which is a free open source software that's quite similar to Photoshop. So anyway, I have this layer group, which has the pinball design, and then I have the text layer, and then I have the circles layer, and behind everything I have the background. And I'm just going to send you this file so you can export them as you like them and how you like them and recolor them as you wish. Because in the text layer we have the front and the back, which you can recolor by several methods. My favorite is with the brush and just changing it to lighten only if you're going to be drawing on the black. And we can grab whatever color we want, and then it will lighten only and stay in your lines. Or darken only, which if we grab a different color, go here, change this to darken only, will only go on the background bit. So yeah, anyway, that's just a bit about coloring layers. You can do it however you like, or if you have Photoshop, this can be opened up by Photoshop as is with all of the layers. So yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and get to it. The actual translation explanation. So all of the words are completely visible with the text in front of them. So I'm going to keep the text in front of them for this read through for all of them. So here's our first word, and here's the first letter of our first word. It is a circle inside the word circle with 2 lines, making it a P. 1 line, 2 lines, because line modifiers count where they end on a letter stem. So this one passes through it, so it doesn't count, but these 2 end on it, so it does count. So P-I-N, pin. Then we continue around. Here is a triple line hyphen, because this little ball thing here kind of functions as a hyphen. That was the most likely punctuation mark I thought of that could be going here. I don't have punctuation written on this mini guide, so you just have to trust me. Triple line is a hyphen. And then a B-O-T. No modifiers on any of those. B, then O is a vowel, and then a T. So pinbot is our first one. And then I'm going to close that up, open up this one. So here's the Adams family. Again, much more intricate because it is more words. Here it is without the text. I also have these set up to have the words done kind of in their own little layer mostly. Sometimes they kind of overlap. But anyway, here's the... So let's go ahead and read it. Bottom, this is our first word. And it has a circle on the line of the word circle, so that would be a TH, and then an E at the end of it. And then we have this word here, nestled inside this last word. Here's the bottom of it. It's an A, because it's outside the word circle. Then we have a double line, and it's a double line of the same thickness, so it's the same letter twice. Because consonant stems, if stacked, read thin to thick, and same thickness is same letter. So this is the same letter twice, and it has 1, 2, 3 dots, so that is a D, so DD. Then A, we continue around, and here's another A, except it's slightly closer to the outside here than it is to this one. So this A belongs with this word, the family, instead of Adams. It's A, D, D, A, continue around. Here's the M, 1, 2, 3 lines ending on that M, and then this S has 1, 2, 3 lines ending on that S, and again, lines that pass through do not count. So Adams, and then we have this word, bottom of it's here. We have the great big deep divot here with 1, 2, 3 lines for the F, like that. And then the A I talked about earlier. And then we have another M, 1 line here, 2 lines here, 3 lines here. I should get my mouse more pointy. Let me make this a small brush. No. Alignment tool? No, we're just going to do our normal move tool. Anyway, whatever. So yeah, M, I with a line going towards the middle. And then we have the circle inside the word circle. This stem here with 3 dots is an L. And then we have a circle on the line of the word circle, like this, with 2 dots, which is a Y. So, the Adams family. And again, here's what it looks like without the text. So, it's still kind of cool as a standalone. And then there's the space, so nothing important gets covered up when you put the text in. Okay, let's move on to Medieval Madness. So this has some extra jazz going on here. This is a shape that does not line up with any of these stems, so this is kind of a key that this is not a stem and is not actually part of a word circle. These are just lines from this Medieval Madness. This M has 3 lines, 1, 2, 3 lines on that M. And this curvy bit is a line that connects from this M to the M in Madness. And then this line is a line that connects from the M back to the M again. It just has this little keyhole here to look cool. Plus, that's a thing that happens a lot in modern Doctor Who. So it looks really similar to the stuff in the show. If I put little keyholes like this in there, even though they don't mean anything, they're just fun decoration. Anyway, so M, E, D, 1, 2, 3 dots on the D, I, line going inwards, E, V with 1 line right there that connects up to the M, A, and then L with 3 dots. So medieval, and then nothing. Again, like I said, this little divoty doodah doesn't mean anything. But here we have M with 1, 2, 3 lines. I know it gets kind of crowded in there with my guides. These are guides, that way I can line up the text right in the middle. But this line ends here. So 1, 2, 3 lines on the M. And then we have the A outside the word circle, and then a deep divot with 1, 2, 3 dots. So another D, just like this D. N with 1 line on it. E in the middle of that stem, like this E. And then we have another double line, meaning a double letter. And this has 3 lines on it, so it's a double S. So M, A, D, N, E, double S. So there's Medieval Madness. Did I show this one without the text? That's what it looks like without the text. Huzzah. Circles. Okay, now we have Star Trek, The Next Generation, and this one is the most different of all of them, in my opinion, because it was long and kind of in 2 parts. So I actually put Star Trek in the middle. Here's Star and there's Trek. And then I put The Next Generation around the outside. So The Next Generation going across the top. And that is kind of tricky reading order-wise because you normally read outer to inner. So I'd look honestly and see this thing and probably not know what it means because it's not really a circle. It's just like a weird chunk. But it starts with, I guess, this looks like the TH or it could be a period. But if you treat it like a word, if we pretend this thing is its own little word circle, it's a TH and then an E because this is a TH on the line of the word circle and then an E. So and if we continue with that logic, even though this big old thing isn't really a word circle because it's got chunks taken out of it and it's weird, but I've done this sort of thing before, like going around the TARDIS and the TARDIS pinball thing. But N, E, X with 2 lines on it, T, next, G, E, N, E, R, A, T, I, O, N. At least they're really easy to read because they're all uniform in size and stuff. But anyway, G, 1 line on it, yada yada. We've kind of figured out how this key works. But anyway, generation. And then we have a double circle on the punctuation circle around the outside. And this is a semicolon. No, a colon. Just a regular 2 dots because it's a double period. So that's a double period on top of each other. Yeah. Anyway, so there's the colon. Kind of like between the Star Trek and the Next Generation. And then we have an S with 1, 2, 3 lines on it. T, A, R, 2, 3 dots on the R, because R's have 3 dots. And then T, R, 1, 2, 3 dots on the R, E, and then 2 dots on the K. So Star Trek, The Next Generation, and there's the like colon between them. So Star Trek, colon, The Next Generation. So that's the one with the most artistic liberties, but I wanted to keep them all kind of a similar, like, intricacy, so that way we can have our Star Trek The Next Generation thing. Oh, and this is what it looks like without the text. So kind of open here and open here, but still looks good. It definitely adds to it, I think, to have the text in front of it for that one, for the balance. But if we're going to have this design in a similar presentation as this design, I wanted to jazz this one up as much as I could, but also kind of simplify this one as much as I could. Anyway. So, yeah, that's that design. 3 more. Twilight Zone with no the. You specifically said no the, so I did not put a the. Though a the could be put right here quite easily if we needed a the. I don't know where the text would go, but this is where we could put it in circles. So here we have just one big old chunker of a word in the middle, and then the second word is hidden in here. So here is our T. Then we have this shallow divot with 1, 2 lines. Again, here's another chunker made out of a line. So this is just a line connecting to this W and this H, but T, W, and then the I line going towards the middle. L with 3 dots, I again, and then we have this thing. And this thing is a stacked stem because there are 1, 2 lines, except they're different thicknesses. And you read thin to thick if that is the case. So this thin one here has 1 line ending on it, just 1 line ending on it right there. So that would be a G. And then this thick one right here has 1, 2 lines ending on it. So this line and this line end on that H. So GH, and then it ends with a T. And this is just another chunker that doesn't do anything except look cool. So TWILIGHT. And then we have this word. It's a Z because it's got 3 dots on a circle on the line of the word circle. And then O, N with 1 line on it, and an E. So Twilight Zone is there. And this is what it looks like without the text. Neat. And then we have Doctor Who. This line here is a bonus extra special line. I have written Doctor a couple of times, and it's always hard to figure out what to do with all of the gosh darn dots. So, here we have our first letter. It is a deep divot with 3 dots because it's the letter D. And then we have an O, which is kind of like a dot, except it's a vowel. Well, vowels are kind of like dots. Anyway, this is an O because it's like a beat on a string on that stem. Then we continue around. Here we have a C. I did an actual C instead of the letter K. Because the letter C is super secret. You're only supposed to use the letter C if it's a proper noun or something, which this is the name of both a pinball machine and because it's the title of the TV show Doctor Who. You know, I felt like putting a C here. Plus, I wanted even more dots. So 1, 2, 3, 4 dots makes this the letter C. So there's the C. Then T with no modifiers. None of these lines end on the T. There's just an O on it. And then we have the R. So D-O-K, well, that's the letter C. I actually put the C there. I considered just putting the 2 dots in the middle of it, but nah, I put all 4. C-T-O-R, so D-O-C-T-O-R is how you spell doctor. And then we have this thing here, which is a bit intricate, because it's got a lot of concentric circles. So it's kind of hard to figure out what the word circle in this is, but it's the outer one. It's just got a shallow divot here for the W and a deep divot here for the H. So this is a line coming from the H, and this is a line coming from the W. So this shallow divot here has 1, 2 lines ending on it, making it a W. And then we continue around. Here is a deep divot, so this stem with 2 lines making it an H. So WH with 2 lines and then an O on it, just like the O here. It's just nice that the O is right in the middle. I did that on purpose. So Doctor Who is there, and this is what it looks like without the text in the middle. Always kind of bland in the middle, but still nice if you ever wanted to do something with that. Yeah. And now we have our last one. Yay, Attack from Mars. So this has some stuff happening. The first word, again, is still the bottommost thing that crosses the middle, so it is this one. Although it's getting kind of funky in the formatting where it looks like this one. No, this one's definitely first. There's no way you could misconstrue this. So here's the bottom of the word circle. This is the first letter we hit. It is an A outside the word circle. And then we have a shallow divot here with no modifiers on it, and then another shallow divot here with no modifiers on it. So those are both T. So A, T, T. And also note this A here is slightly closer to this guy instead of this guy, so it goes here, because this is the actual A on attack, like this A. So A, T, T, A. And then I did another actual C. I debated on this one as well because this is just the word attack, but it's also the title of a pinball machine and a name. So I did the actual proper C. Plus I made dots in a arc, which was nice. So I made a whole arc of dots. So 1, 2, 3, 4 dots closest to this C, and then 2 dots on this K. So this guy has 2 dots, this guy has 4 dots, because 4 dots is C and 2 dots is K, so C, K, A, T, T, A, C, K, attack. And then we have this word, bottom of it's here, F with 1, 2, 3 lines, and then an R with 3 dots, O inside the word circle, M with 3 lines, so from. And then we have another M, 1, 2, 3 lines on that M, done very similarly to this M. And then that A we talked about earlier outside the word circle. And then we have another stacked stem with a thick and a thin line. So we read the thin line first, which has the 3 dots, so that is an R. And then we have the S with 1, 2, 3 lines. So there is Mars. So attack from Mars, and we are now done. This is what it looks like. Oh boy, let me clean that up there. We're gonna go into my circles that is on the word from. We're going to make it bigger, and we're going to find our layer by clicking on it with the move tool. It is this one, and we're going to mask that out. Go away. Okay, cool. Sweet. Surprise, it's hidden underneath the text. So yeah, these are all lots of files, and I'm just going to send you the clear background version of them with the text, so that way you can put them on different backgrounds or recolor them if you can color just the border, I don't know, as well as this GIMP file. So yeah, I'm actually going to export it, I think, as a Photoshop document, because that's something more different programs can't open, including Photoshop. So yeah, if you need it in a different format, let me know. Otherwise, I don't feel like exporting 7 files 3 ways. I'm just going to export the 7 files one way, and you can do that yourself unless you need them in a different way. So yeah, that's that. I hope it made sense, and I hope you like what your designs turned out to be. I'm pretty happy with them myself. Bye.